Hey guys, it is Sophia the Shadow Hunter, and today I'm doing my July 2020 wrap up. I read a total of 5 books. I wish I could have read a little bit more. I got a little bit behind the last 2 weeks of the month. Just everything's been so hectic with work and everything, and I just reading a couple different books, and it just kind of got me off my reading track, but hopefully I'll get back on track. So let's get started. Please let me know in the comments down below what you read in the month of July and what you plan to read in August. So let's get started. One of the books that I read that also it kind of I love this book. It was a great book, but it wasn't what I was expecting. That was Rush Wandering the Face of the Earth, the official tour in history from 1968 to 2015. Skip Bailey and Eric Hansen, forward by Les Claypool, introduction by Howard Jurgenlinder, and afterward by Stuart Copeland. I really enjoyed this book. This was phenomenal to see Rush through the early days, revisit some of the earlier things that I didn't know about or things I had forgotten. There are actually chapters on each. 2 were actually short. I wish those would have been longer. The majority of the pages were tour dates and excerpts and things and cons of the newspaper articles and how they were being received and reviewed by the world and everything, and how they were so different and how they were disliked and how people were surprised by them, how they brought Canada fame, things like that. I really enjoyed it, but I still need to go back and finish reading all those excerpts. They take a lot of time and it's in small print, but I still really enjoy this book, and I'm glad I have this book in my collection. Please let me know what you think of this in the comments down below. There are a few other Rush books I need to read and get to my collection. Hopefully I'll get them soon. Alright. So the other book I read was Rider, Sailor, Soldier, Spy by Nicholas Reynolds, Ernest Hemingway's Secret Adventures from 1935 to 1961. I love this book. It has to do about history, war, spy, espionage, Ernest Hemingway, all things that I love. A writer I respect, a writer I want to know more about. Like I said, I really enjoyed this book. I think there could have been a little bit more detail maybe about Ernest Hemingway and his life, but they still went into a lot of detail. I just wish there would have been a little bit more detailed, more about his mindset. Very sad that his life ended at he committed suicide and that's just sad. The sun will rise no more, because he felt like he had lost it. He didn't have the words to say. He just stared at an empty page, and it's really sad when an author doesn't get loved, or any type of artist for that matter doesn't get realized till they're gone. People thinking he was a communist because he was friends with communists, but a lot of the communists were using his literature and they were liking it. That's when it was first getting accepted, was by people in China in communism. But it doesn't necessarily mean that he necessarily agreed with it, but his fans were people from that part of the world, people who have those same views. Doesn't necessarily mean he did. If you guys heard this book, please let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. Next, I read Beneath the Ruthless Sun by Gilbert King, a true story of violence, race, injustice, lost and found. This is a very sad, gripping story. I really enjoyed it. To see someone so young accused of something so terrible, to spend his life in a mental institution, to find out that he really did not rape this person like they said he was. He was had a really low IQ. He did not finish school. He was basically mentally handicapped, and because this was early, they really didn't understand all of his things. He got he spent at least I think 10 15 years of his life just in a mental hospital. And he was able to, once he got out of that situation, his IQ got better and he was able to have somewhat of a decent life, but it really did a damage on his life, and he took so many years out of his life to find out that he was wrongfully put in the first place. I mean, at least he wasn't put in jail, but was close enough to jail, and it was just a really sad story, and I'm glad someone wanted to get to the end of this, because it's so sad when people are wrongfully accused and put in prison or lose their life because they're wrongly accused, because justice is not being served, and that is not okay. Alright, next I have On Writing by Stephen King, a memoir of the craft. I love this book. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. This book was not what I was expecting. I've been told that this book, I think, was, to some people, might have been a little bit of a letdown. I really enjoyed it. I love his writing style. I liked seeing, you know, he had his accident, he got through it, his growing up, what got him into writing, and how he pursued it on, and how writing is there and can bring joy to your life and joy to other people's lives. No, it wasn't necessarily a manual on writing, but he showed how he wrote and how you get ideas and how to use it. And it was really great as me being a writer. I wouldn't say I'm an author yet, but being a writer, it was a great inspiration to me, and it gave me good ideas for writing, because writing is a pure joy, and those who write and read really understand that. And I'm glad that I was able to read this book, because I think it did give me some good ideas to put into my daily writing, and I need to start doing that soon. Next I read Friends of Zion, John Henry Patterson and Old Charles Winget. These are about two men who were friends of the Jewish people in Zion, and they were trying to make Zion a Jewish state to be safe for Jewish people. It was so sad. These men worked so hard. They gave up so much to give freedom and friendship to the Jewish people, and at the end, all their hard work, you know, some of it went to waste. They did do great things for them, but at the end, the people they work with got out of office, and so they were not able to complete what they started. But they still did so much for these people, and they were true friends to them when other people weren't. And it was just so great to see people, especially people who weren't Jewish, to help the Jewish people and try to help form Palestine, to make it in Zion, to make a Jewish state where people could go and live without fear of being persecuted, murdered, and hated. And it's just, I love seeing people do so much for someone that they wouldn't be considered friends or family, or maybe evil equals in some cases, like people didn't think the Jews were equally human, that they put so much effort and time and money, and they fought for these people so they could have some sense of freedom. And even though it did not go exactly as they wanted, they still did good for these people, and for that they are heroes. I hope you like this video. If you haven't, go subscribe to my channel. Please let me know in the comments down below what you've been reading, and I hope your reading month goes well. I hope you're staying healthy and safe. I'll see you guys next time in another video. Goodbye.